In this video, we're going to use algorithms to add and subtract integers. So thus far, you may have noticed we've only added and subtracted single-digit integers. Now we will use base blocks and the ideas developed in this lesson to add and subtract larger numbers. So we'll actually use the algorithms that we used for base blocks to do so. And here's our general process. If you're given a subtraction problem, rewrite it as an addition problem. We're going to use the rules for integer addition to add the signed numbers as summarized below. This is on our next slide and in your media lesson packet. We'll use regrouping or decomposing from our lesson 1. So basically here we're going to use our standard algorithm for adding and subtracting larger numbers. And then we'll write the associated standard algorithm to represent this process. Okay. So we're going to do a bunch of addition and subtraction problems that involve 308 and 275 and their opposites. So let's just start by finding these two values. So quick review, if we want to add 308 plus 275, we line them up by place value. We put our addition symbol. 8 plus 5 is 13, so 3 ones carry a 10. 7 plus 1 is 8 tens. 3 plus 2 is 5. So 308 plus 275 is 583. Now let's do the associated subtraction problem. So I'm subtracting 275 from 308. 8 minus 5 is 3. I can't do 0 minus 7, so I'm going to borrow a flat. 10 minus 7 is also 3. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So our result is 33. Okay. So I have our results listed right here. The sum is 583, the difference is 33. And I have a whole bunch of problems listed here. And believe it or not, the answers to all these problems are either plus or minus 583 or plus or positive or negative 33. Should have said positive or negative 583, not plus or minus. So let's see what we're going to do. So let's start with the addition problems, and we use this column. So when adding two numbers with the same sign, so that's what we're doing here, they're both negative, add the absolute values of the numbers. Well, that result is 583, and keep the common sign of the numbers. Well, both of the numbers were negative, so this is negative 583. Now here, we're adding two numbers, but they have different signs. Okay. Find the absolute value. We don't really need to do that because it's already done here. Subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger. Well, the difference between the two absolute values is 33. So this result is either going to be positive or negative 33. To determine the sign, it says keep the original sign of the number with the larger absolute value. Well, 308 has a larger absolute value than negative 275. 308 is positive, so our result is positive 33. The next problem is almost identical except the signs are reversed. Okay, so we're adding two numbers with different signs, so we find their difference, which is 33. Then we keep the original sign of the number with the larger absolute value. Well, negative 308 has a larger absolute value than 275, and its sign is negative. So our result is negative. Okay, so to sum up, the signs are the same, add the numbers, keep the sign. The signs are different, subtract the numbers, keep the sign of the number with a larger absolute value, here positive, here negative. Okay. Now here we have some subtraction problems. Let's use the result of the last video to rewrite them as addition. So 275 minus negative 308 is equivalent to 275 plus the opposite of negative 308, which is positive 308. So we're just adding these two numbers. Notice we did this here in the reverse order, but we get the same result, positive 583. Let's look at the next one. Negative 275, keep the first number, change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number to 308. So now that it's an addition problem, the signs are different, so we use this method. We find the difference, which we know is 33, and we keep the sign of the larger absolute value. 308 is larger in absolute value, it's positive, so our result is positive. And notice this was equivalent to the problem over here. Last one, keep the first number, change subtraction to addition. This is currently positive 308. We're going to change it to negative 308. Now we're adding two numbers with the same sign, so we add their absolute values, which is 583, and keep the original sign of the numbers, which was negative. And notice this subtraction problem was equivalent to this addition problem. Okay, so basically, given the addition or the subtraction of two integers, rewrite it as addition. If the signs are the same, you add the numbers like we did here and here. Okay, add the absolute values, keep the sign of the original numbers. If the signs are different, subtract the numbers like we did here, keep the sign of the larger absolute value.